Transformation reflections. I will construct geometric reflections with coordinates and line over reflections.
Nice. Thank you very much for taking over. All right, so we are doing another transformation. So we have the definition for transformation show up again. Reminder, it's just a change in the figure. The reflection, like yesterday's translation, is a congruence transformation. You're not going to start with a star and suddenly magically have it turn into a stop sign. Okay, it just changes location. Its location, unlike translation, which yesterday you saw was a slidey thing, this location gets changed like a pancake getting flipped. Starts in one spot and then it flips over to the other. Two new words that I want to introduce today is the concept of the pre-image. That's the one that I give you. Hi, transform this one. Pre-image. The image is the one you hand back to me. I did stuff. Here's your image. Okay? So that will be the language that we use. Please help me with those because I tend to sometimes confuse them, and I'm very sorry for that. Okay. So when we're working on reflections in the coordinate plane, or when we're working with reflections in general, instead of saying we're reflecting it over a line, which sounds like it would make sense, we say we're reflecting it in the line. I don't know, I don't understand it, why we say it in the line, but we do. And so when we're going to go across the x-axis, we'll say the reflection is in the x-axis. What's happening to the coordinates when we do that reflection?
The y changes.
Yeah, the y changes. How does the y change?
It goes to a negative.
Yeah, it goes negative. You change the sign of it. So if it was positive, it's now negative. If it was negative, it's now positive. And that's the only change you make. M stands for slope. We're okay with this?
Yes.
Okay, so if I were reflecting a line across, if we were reflecting a line in the x-axis, I obviously like the word across, I would change the slope of the line this way. What did I do?
Made it negative.
Yeah, I just changed the sign of the slope. So if my line had a negative slope, it now has a positive slope after I've made this reflection. Okay? Let's look at the y-axis. What's the change in the coordinates in the y-axis? The x is having the sign change. Nice. And the slope?
Changes again to a negative.
Again, having a sign change. Very nice. If we're reflecting it in the line y equals x, what happens to the coordinates?
They
She's doing this.
flipped.
Yeah, they're flipping. What was x is now y, and what was y is now x. But look at the slope. What's happening to the slope? The slope became a division. Yeah, if we had our slope as m over 1, we flipped the fraction to make it 1 over m. What do we call that, flip the fraction? Do you remember the word? It's like at the temperature, as soon as I say it, you're going to be like, oh yeah.
No, don't say it yet.
It does not start with a T.
Is it close?
It's in that general part of the alphabet, yeah.
Start with an I.
No, not with an I.
Is there a letter?
It starts with an R.
Oh.
Refraction, reflection, no. Reciprocal. There it is. So you take the reciprocal of the slope. If you're reflecting in the line y equals negative x, what happens to your coordinates?
They both change negative.
They both change to negative and?
Reciprocal for.
We're still looking at the coordinates.
Oh, they flipped.
And they flipped. This is like the contrapositive. Remember those statements? Where we switch and negate? It's totally what we're doing here. So the line y equals negative x is totally a contrapositive line in reflections. Slope. What happens with the slope?
It goes to reciprocal.
We have a reciprocal thing happening again. All right.